David, you have often predicted things way before other people have seen even the hint of something. And then later on, and people will ridicule and laugh and go, now he's really gone too far. And then you get vindicated. So you would think people would start to be understanding, hey, this guy is obviously onto something. But you never get the benefit of the doubt. What's that all about?
It's something you have to come to terms with. I did a long time ago.
Just let me say this.
They're laughing at you. They're not laughing with you.
Fine.
I didn't mean that to be hurtful.
Terry.
I don't want you to misinterpret it. They're not laughing in sympathy with you.
No, let me say to you.
When you pursue the truth for the truth's sake, when you don't set out to confirm a belief system, you don't set out to keep any belief system happy and stay within its bounds so that you're seen as credible by people. When you pursue the truth for the truth's sake, there's many things that come from that. First of all, you go where the information takes you. And given that this world is based on lies and the suppression of truth, if you pursue it, then very quickly you're going to break through the bounds of what most people consider to be normal.
It's interesting, when you look at the traits, this is mainstream science, when you look at the traits of what we call the reptilian brain, reptilian genetics, which we all have, one of the traits is an obsession with ritual. So, when you look at all the pomp and ceremony of the royal family, you know, with Buckingham Palace and all this stuff, and all the ceremonies and the guards and the horses and the colours, you're looking at ritual.
You're going to go into areas that are considered far out, not because they are far out, but because the perception of normal is so tiny and so narrow that almost anything is far out, outside the basics of five-sense reality. So first of all, you have to realize that you are going to go into areas that are going to get you ridiculed, often condemned, demonized. And you have to let go of the prison that people live in on a vast scale, which is the fear of what other people think. Because when you fall for that one, you are immediately self-censoring yourself so that you don't say anything that goes beyond the bounds of normal, because what will people think of me if I do? So that has to go. It went with me 30 odd years ago.
Anything of the kind. I've written 5 books in the last 3 years, challenging the whole idea of cults and gurus and messiahs and all these areas that we're encouraged to give our responsibility to. There is no guy going to appear on a cloud to judge the human race or change the world. What we have to do if we're going to stop this planet ceasing to exist and the human race ceasing to exist is to start taking responsibility for our own actions and not allow other people to impose their beliefs upon us through indoctrination in various ways.
The pursuit of the truth is all that matters to you, whatever that truth turns out to be. And there are other things that happen in that whenever you start to talk about or write about things that you found that are outside the norm, you're going to get pushback, dismissal, ridicule, whatever. And in terms of, if I look back at what I was saying in the early 1990s and what have you, mid-1990s, that the world is controlled by a cabal of interlocking secret societies with an agenda for a global dystopia and total human control, you are entering a realm that is always going to get you pushback. And that realm is telling people what they don't want to hear. Whenever you do that, people don't want what you're saying to be true. So the door is padlocked. They don't want it to be true, so they will find any getaway car that allows them to dismiss the idea that what you're saying is true. So it can be you're mad or bad or whatever. The get out clause may be that they don't have to listen to what you're saying. So that always happens in the initial period when you're uncovering things. Now, if what you're saying has validity, then it will eventually be shown to be so. And so I've gone into periods, I mean, COVID was a classic, but there have been others, where what I've said has turned out to be true and the way the world's going. And then you get the reaction of, oh, hold on a minute. He were right then. And you get a bit of acceptance that maybe you're not as crazy as they thought you were. However, when you are pursuing the truth, not in one small area, but as wide an area as you can, that means you don't stop there. You don't rest on your laurels. You keep pursuing what you don't know. Instead of saying, well, I've got it now, you say, well, what don't I know? And that drives you on deeper and deeper in the rabbit hole. And so the normal has moved. I'll give you an example. Before COVID, there was a certain normal. Once COVID hit with all the restrictions and the fascism and the impositions, for a lot of people, their normal moved. Their normal became, the world's not controlled by the people I thought it was, not controlled by the forces I thought it was, but actually there's some kind of connected agenda going on, because all these countries all over the world responded in exactly the same way to the same thing. And a lot of people came out of the mainstream into the so-called alternative media, and they've taken it over in terms of the algorithmic support, the financial support, the promotion, and they've come in at that level, basically picking up that the world's not controlled by the people we thought it was. But you are pursuing the truth for the truth's sake, so you kick on. And so you go into other areas that are outside of that, that are beyond that. And what you face is exactly the same as you face back here. Oh, he's gone too far now, because you've gone into this area, and although their normal has changed, it's now here. And so when you are exposing the fact that these people that are now set themselves up to be the alternative voice are actually limiting and misleading people, because the conspiracy is not that's just an expression of it, it's vastly greater, then what you got here, you're mad or you're bitter or you're negative, and all that before, all that long ago, and then they're going, oh no, we were right then. But it repeats itself. So now the new heroes who are ensconced here and no further, but you've gone here. Now you're telling people what they don't want to hear again. See, you're telling them here what they don't want to hear, but events they actually experienced showed them that actually it was true. So their normal moved. But this normal now solidifies. And you've gone on here. So now they are viewing you from this normal, and although they would rather that normal be real, they accept this one is. What they don't want to hear is it's bigger than this. This is just the way it plays out. Actually, it's bigger than this, and the force behind it is not human. So now you are treated in exactly the same way as you were before, because you're telling them what they don't want to hear. And this process goes on and on and on and on every time until it's shown that what you said and was dismissed is actually true. And then you become, oh, you were right then. But you've gone on from that. And this is their new normal now. And you've gone on beyond that. You're now telling them something else they don't want to hear. So you get the same treatment. And you've got to come to terms with that. This is the way it is. So if you look at the situation that I'm in now, it's been clear to me for a long time that the Trump, Musk, AI billionaire grouping is a psyop. It's a psyop to manipulate the world to a AI-controlled, AI-human fusion, the same one that is openly kind of promoted by your Klaus Schwabs and your Bill Gateses, etc. But it's being done in another way. It's being sold in another way because they're now targeting that very large group of people, even larger since COVID, that are very wary about this AI control and absolutely wary about this AI-human fusion. And you have to manipulate them in a different way, in a more subtle way. So you've got Elon Musk years ago positioning himself, because they play the long game, as AI skeptic. And then he says eventually, oh, but AI is inevitable and AI-human fusion is inevitable. So trust me to do it for the best, with the best interest of humanity rather than them, because they don't want the best interest of humanity. Trust me. But the end product is exactly the same.
The long-term goal of Neuralink is to achieve it. Human-AI symbiosis. Achieve it. Human-AI symbiosis. Human-AI symbiosis. Human-AI symbiosis.
It's an AI-controlled world where the whole system is controlled by AI, which means it can be centrally controlled. And the AI-human fusion. So I've seen this. I've seen the scam. I've seen the way it's being played. But what's happened is because Musk, despite all these companies like Tesla and Neuralink and SpaceX that are ticking all the boxes of this World Economic Forum global cult agenda, he's given a free ride since he bought Twitter, or was allowed to buy Twitter, by the alternative media in general, the central core of it, the hijack core of it, because they say, oh no, he's a free speech hero and he cares about freedom. But it's a scam. It's a scam to get you to give him a free ride on all the things that he's box ticking with his companies, because he's presented himself as the light of freedom. And I've seen this, and I've seen what's going on. I've seen the whole Trump phenomena, which is just a psyop scam, to pull in this very, very group of people that previously have been skeptical about this whole AI control system, AI fusion system. And so I'm calling them out. But what I'm doing, you see, is calling out their new heroes, because what they want to be true, and I do understand this, what they want to be true is that Trump is really on their side and is really a savior figure, and that Musk is really on their side and really wants human freedom. So what I'm doing now, I've left the period of, oh, we were right then, and I've gone into another period where I'm saying your heroes are not heroes. They're scam artists who are playing you. And of course, we're back to this same recurring principle. That's not what people want to hear. What they want to be true is that their heroes are genuine. They don't want some guy saying constantly, they're not, they're having you on. And you'll see eventually, probably too late, but we'll see, that that's what they're doing. Some people who were supporting Trump and Musk are already beginning to see it, already. So now I'm the villain again, in the eyes of many people. Oh, he's negative. He used to be good, but he's negative. No. I'll tell you what you mean. What you mean is, here I was telling you what you wanted to hear, and now I'm telling you what you don't want to hear. In fact, before I was telling you what you didn't want to hear, and you kind of dismissed me. Then through the experience of COVID, you saw that it was true. So when I said, this is going on, oh, yeah, I was telling you what you wanted to hear because it was being confirmed by your experience. Now I'm telling you what you don't want to hear again. And so the same process goes on. And what's going to happen is that when Trump, Musk, and all these AI billionaires and Israel firsters in the Trump government come into power, as it unfolds, people are going to realize they've been scammed again. And what will happen is some of them will double down on it because they won't want to accept they've been scammed again. And others will go, that Ike were right then. It is a scam. Look what they're doing now. And there may be a time when people will go again, you were right then. But by then I'll have gone deeper in the rabbit hole, and the whole process will start again. And you have to accept that if you're pursuing truth for the truth's sake, without any preconceived belief system you have to defend or underpin, then you're always going to have this process go on and on and on and on. And you have to accept it, because it's the way it is with human perception and desperation to be told what they want to hear. It will always be this way, or at least until humanity enters a collective area of mass consciousness expansion where they move beyond this level of thinking.